Well, hey everyone, hope you're doing well when you watch this video. This video is for life science, 7th grade. We are opening up a new topic online, of course, about evolution and how life changes through time. Of course, since we believe that the Bible to be absolute truth from God Himself, we are also going to discuss creation and how creation and evolution differ in many points, but however, they do not differ in all the points. So evolution does see changes, and the Bible allows for changes within kinds. And I will explain more of that in a second. But before we begin, let's talk about what is a worldview. See, this is a huge conversation in the realm of philosophy, in the realm of Christianity, religious studies, science, even. A worldview basically helps us to explain the world around us. And I want to figure out what your worldview is. So on the discussion board, underneath, topic 1, I want you to answer these questions. Where did life come from? What is the point of life? Why are we doing this? Why do we see pain and suffering around us? Like if you look, watch the news, go on news channel reports, news channel websites, there's so much pain and suffering in the world around us. Why? Why does that exist? What is my purpose? So I want you to answer those questions. Just be honest. It'd be nice to kind of see where we all are. But worldviews, like an atheist and an agnostic would have a different worldview than I would. For example, an atheist does not believe that there is a God, that everything can be explained with naturalistic means. And so I believe that God was before anything else was. And I believe that God created everything that we see, and He set in motion the universe by speaking it into existence. So there's a difference of worldviews. Evolution teaches that there is no God, everything can be explained naturally, and that we all came from a single cell organism. As I've said in many times, when we have Thanksgiving dinner, you're not only eating with family, you're eating family according to evolution. There is a commonality with life. We're all related. The Bible does not teach that. The Bible teaches that you and I were created specifically by God. Human beings were made from the dust, not from like an ape-like common ancestor. We did not evolve from a single-celled organism in really hot, mucky soup. We were created in the image of God. So not only were we were created in the image of God, which means every single person on this planet has immense value. Genesis 1:1 says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. You can have a lot of philosophical debates about this, but in order for something to exist or move, there had to be something to cause it to exist or something that moved it initially, the initial mover. It's an argument in philosophy. And so there's basically two thought systems for in 7th grade. Creator acted, which is a miracle, it's an event, it's creation, and then a creator did not act, which would be naturalism, is all due to chance and evolution. The basic views of evolution is this: non-living things gave rise to living matter. We're all related. There are various, relations that we'll talk about as far as like how closely we're related. They base all that on genetics. And then all life originated from one living organism called a common ancestor. So according to the Bible, though, there's 3 events that have created the world that we see around us. It is creation itself. So I encourage you to read Genesis 1 and 2, 3 even, to see the origin story of life, of the universe, of human beings. And then, of course, most of you know about Adam and Eve and how they wanted to be God. They believed the lie that Satan told them, and they ate of the fruit. And so sin entered the world, and with sin came a curse, judgment, because God is a righteous judge, and so He must punish evil. And so there's a curse on the planet right now, and there's birth pains, as it says in the New Testament. And then finally, also what created the world that we see now is the flood, the worldwide flood that we read about in Genesis as well. And so, with that being said, God created organic life after its kind. Darwin, which we'll talk about here in a second, and you have some homework to do about Darwin, but Darwin, who came up kind of with this theory of natural selection and evolution, didn't believe or didn't even really understand that. He thought that God created each species immutable, which means did not change. So each species was created like fixed and they didn't change through time, but we don't see that. We see life change. We see new bacteria come onto the scene. We see new viruses come onto the scene. Life does change and alter itself. And so Christians would not argue that. Christians would say, no, life changes just within kinds, though. This is an image from Answers in Genesis. And you can see that maybe God created an ancient, insect kind, or an ancient, dinosaurs are no longer around. Um, you know, ancient, annelid or earthworm or and fungi over here. And then within that kind, there is change happening. Answers in Genesis is the young earth site, which means they believe the earth is really young. Christians, though some Christians believe that the earth is really old. There's brilliant people on both sides. We won't have time to get into that debate, but it's a fun debate to learn about and see where you stand. So what happens if we remove Genesis, we remove true history, we actually remove the teachings of Peter, Paul, and Jesus himself, and it eventually leads to people falling away from the faith, which is what apostasy means. So this is your first homework assignment. I want you to email me these answers. You can email me a picture of it written out, or just email me in an email format, typing out your answers. But Charles Darwin, where was he from? Who was he? What did his parents do? What did he go to school for? He changed his mind a couple of different times. How did he get invited to go on the HMS Beagle? This was a ship, and he spent 5 years on this ship going around the planet observing nature. He loved nature, geology, history. And so he was going around the planet observing, recording all the different aspects of life he was seeing. 5 years, could you do it? 5 years. And this isn't like a cruise ship with, slides and a pool and all you can eat buffet. This is an ancient, wooden, English ship. And so what is he best known for? Charles Darwin. So closing up this video, I want to talk to you about the assignments to work on this week. I want you to complete the Pearson Realize assignments. I'll link at the end of this video the tutorial that I created for that to sign into Pearson Realize, and I'll put a picture right here about the assignments that you need to complete. The due dates are online. Video facts, all these specifics can be found in the lesson plans on the class wall in LMS. There's some videos I want you to watch this week and write some facts about them and email me. I want you to read and complete the appropriate, read topic 1 in Unit 4 and complete the appropriate questions. Answer the discussion board and answer the Darwin questions. Until then, be checking for new videos. I'll be posting new content relating to this topic. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. God bless, guys. I'll talk to you later.